Hey guys, how you doing today? Today we're going to be covering how to connect your finances and how to see all your finances in one connected view. The benefit here is instead of having to log into multiple banks, multiple brokerage accounts, whether you have a personal or a business account, and trying to keep track of everything in spreadsheets or use different kinds of software, you can log into ChatGPT Finances, connect all your banks, connect all your accounts via Plaid, and see everything in one shot. Now, once you can see everything in one shot, then you can interact with it to tell it what your financial goals are, what are you saving for, you can see where you're spending, get your spending broken down by category. You can schedule events and have it give you an update once a week, once a month. And so I'm going to share my computer with you now, and I'll share my screen and show you exactly what you can do and the power of connecting your finances to have everything in one view and have control over it. So let me just share my screen here. Huh, I'm trying to make this as large as I can. Okay. Um, so this is an example of when you connect your finances, what your dashboard is going to look like. And so you can see that it's by default going to give you some options you can quickly ask. So you can say, what are all the subscriptions I have? Where are all my reoccurring? How can I reduce some of my spending? What's my overall portfolio? What's my overall net worth? How am I tracking towards my goals once you give it your goals? And these are just some default options, but you can scroll to the right and see some more. It's going to give you this default dashboard that you can edit and play around with, but you can see here is it gives you this bar chart broken down by where you're spending, and it's kind of color coded. So it has some values, categories that it breaks out for you, like health and wellness, transport, shopping services, and it can break this down by month. You can click here and see different months or see trends. You can go into your chats or your specific accounts. Um, if you have stocks or ETFs or mutual funds as part of your portfolio, you can quickly see what's happening here as well. So for example, the VOO, the Vanguard, you can see what the price is, the daily change by percentage, by dollar amount. It just gives you a quick view of what's happening in your portfolio. And you can see up and coming activity being incoming or outgoing transfers. Now keep in mind, you can connect this to multiple accounts. So if you have business credit cards at multiple institutions, you can see all that, or multiple personal credit cards. You can see everything here from AT&T bills to LegalZoom, and any incoming funds, you can see all that as well. It'll break that down for you. It'll all this is default out of the box settings too. It'll once you connect your accounts, it'll set all this stuff up for you. Um, Okay. Um, all right. So yeah, it'll um, it'll give you your monthly spend uh, versus your 3 month average, and it'll tell you if you're spending more or spending less and by how much. It'll trend it by date here and by total on the over here. You can see your subscriptions broken down, how much they cost by month, annually. Same thing, you can have all your bills come in here once you connect them. See what all of your total bills are monthly or annually. You can break things down by category, um, recent transactions, and how much fees you've paid for the total year or by date. You can customize everything in the dashboard, so you can turn these things on and off with the tick box. You can use the up arrows to move these things up in the dashboard or the down arrows to move them down. But you can see all the different options you have to customize the dashboard. It'll give you a overall view of your portfolio. It'll do that in this nice pie chart here, and then it'll break it out also in this line chart. So you can say, how much do I have in my total portfolio? How many total number of accounts I have? Mutual funds, cash, ETFs. You can even add in assets like your vehicles. You can, right to the right of that dashboard, you can start to set up some chats here. So this is a prompt I wanted to share with you. And so what I have is I said, can you update my weekly scheduled event to this chat to give me my total week on each week on Thursday at 9 a.m. You can pick any day you want, any time you want, and track the trending based on the 3 month average per each week and flag any additional costs and make suggestions on how I could reduce spending realistically and compare that versus my goals. So one of the goals I discussed was a certain amount of money for retirement. And you can see here what it does is it'll give me that every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. and it'll include that versus a 3 month trend. So that's very powerful. So in addition to the dashboard, you can get this weekly update to see if any incoming or outgoing funds don't look right or how you're tracking towards your goals. So to connect this, inside of any chat, you're going to hit the plus sign, more, and then you're going to connect to the finances. When you connect to the finances, again, it's going to use Plaid. So I have multi-factor authentication set up on all of my accounts. So it's going to ask me to log into Plaid, then it's going to ask me to log into, like, if you have a Chase account, if you have a Bank of America account, a Citi account, and then from there, it's going to send different ways to authenticate via email, via text message, via facial ID. So this doesn't change all the safety and security you have on your accounts. It's just an additional controller that sits on top of it. And once again, you can search for it in the apps, and inside of finances, you just click this little arrow here. And then from there, you click the gears icon and connect to bank. And then you can one by one authenticate and connect it to all your banks. Now, once again, when you do that, you can interact with it in real time, and it can give you an inside view of what your total overall net worth is, your total overall portfolio, how much you're spending, where you're spending, and you can connect multiple business accounts to this or multiple personal accounts. And instead of having to track all this stuff inside of a spreadsheet or to kind of keep it in your head or use multiple pieces of software, this will show you everything. This is included for Plus and professional members. So if you're already like a $20 a month member using ChatGPT, you have access to all this stuff. All right, so let me just stop this. Okay, great, guys. So I hope that that helped. It certainly helps me. It gives me control over all of my business finances and all of my personal finances. And I definitely saw some things in there that I was kind of aware of, but it brought it to light and helped me to cancel some reoccurring subscriptions that I didn't know I was having and just have more control of my finances. And then, like I said, give me that. It'll prompt me once a week, every week, to give me that weekly trend to make sure that I'm tracking towards my goals. once you discuss and tell her what your goals are. All right. Well, I hope this helps you like it helps me. Let's talk again soon, and remember to hustle harder. See you later, guys. Bye bye.